Social media skill for journalists. Now we know why and how social journalists use social media. But how can a social journalist be successful in his or her efforts? What are the skills required? Let's discuss briefly the skills that make you a successful social journalist. Managing networks. Being a part of social media is like plunging into a fuzz of networks. In that highly hyperlinked, complicated new media platform, chances are many to lose your concentration and be lost in the wild unless we have clear planning. We are in the midst of myriad networks and groups. Learn to manage groups and networks while various options for organization, categorization and arrangement already available on the application is vital. Social media journalism is connecting with your target audience. Simply be focused on what serves our objectives and leave the rest. Time management. Earlier, we mentioned that most people, especially the younger one, spend most of their time on social media. It is one side of the coin. The other side, especially for a journalist to waste his time on social media, is wasting his career. Manage your social media time is important for success in career since social media are rich with distractive contents. So do the following. A. Monitor social media for trending topics and events. B. Schedule postings. C. Create new content for sharing in a time-bound manner. Fix time to engage with other users. E. Timely respond to the followers. Social media means instant messaging. Any mistake will have far-reaching implications. Hence, social media journalists shall be detail and oriented. He or she shall look into each and every detail. Remember, what happens on Facebook or media is forever. Even if you delete an accidental tweet or Facebook post, there is always a chance that a screenshot was saved or a blog picked it up before you were able to delete it. Be careful and make sure you dot your I's and cross your T's that we do in traditional editing classes. Search engine optimization, SEO. As search engine optimization, SEO, and social media journalism became more intertwined, SEO optimization is quickly becoming a must-have social media skill. You may not need in-depth technical knowledge like knowing what URL canonicalization is, but you need to understand keywords, link building, and content marketing. Social media optimization is the new trend in search optimization sector. Analytical skills. Is your social media strategy working for your career as a social journalist? A good social media journalist should not only be able to answer the question, but also provide data to prove it. In the early stages of social media journalism, your options for tracking your activities and progress were limited to say the least. But today, tools like Sprout Social provide you with plenty of data to improve your social media journalism efforts and make informed decisions instead of relying on assumptions. A social journalist, like a social marketing professional, is selling his or her newsworthy content. Hence, he or she should be able to access and interpret data about any of these metrics. A. Audience demographics. B. The growth of his or her account. C. Engagement. D. Posting habits. Writing skills. Writing is the essence of our job as social journalists. Unlike traditional journalists, social journalists don't have time to think more. Instead, they have to write instantly. If your headlines aren't captivating and magnetic, users aren't going to be motivated to click through. Writing isn't just important for headlines. It will also come in handy for other social media related tasks like creating blog posts, It is also important you have the ability to write for the web in particular. Writing a blog post or tweet is different than writing a newspaper column or seminar paper. Web content needs to be easy to skim and visually appealing by using headlines, bullet lists, and shorter paragraphs. Learning new trends in technology. Digital technologies are constantly popping up. You don't have to be active on all of them, but if your audience start gravitating to Facebook or Snapchat, you should be able to quickly adapt and learn the ins and outs. The key is to become an early adopter and spot emerging social media platforms before they are mainstream. By the time everyone else jumps on board, you will already have an established presence. That's all. Creativity. Journalist is no more without creativity. It is basically an art, and when it comes to social journalism, it is more than an art. A recent study shows that 20% of the users unfollow if the content shared is too repetitive or boring. In news stories, content matters. In order to keep your followers engaged and to be an effective, you have to consistently come up with new and creative initiatives and topics of coverage. Relationship building. We already mentioned that cultivating sources is a must-have skill for any journalist. A social journalist shall have better understanding of the techniques of keeping good relationship in online communication environment where we engage people without face-to-face communication and geographical and cultural boundaries. So, universal mindset, multicultural attitude, personal networking capacity, etc. are essential skills for a social journalist. Knowledge about cyber laws. There are a lot changes happening in cyber law since the field is still in its formative stage. Newer and newer forms of crimes are being noticed and addressed legally. A social journalist shall have better understanding of the latest trends on the legal side in addition to his or her basic understanding of the media laws of the country.